On your mark, get set, go!
IShowSpeed just did the impossible. The YouTube streamer beat an Olympic gold medalist in a sprint race, and the internet absolutely lost its mind. On January 6, 2026, in Gaborone, Botswana, IShowSpeed raced Letsile Tebogo, who won gold in the 200 meters at the 2024 Paris Olympics, the same athlete who brought Botswana its first ever Olympic gold medal. And Speed actually won. Let's break down what happened and why everyone is talking about this race. Speed is currently on his Speed Does Africa tour, traveling across the continent, meeting celebrities, athletes, and fans. The whole tour streams live on his YouTube channel to millions of viewers. When Speed arrived in Botswana, he landed wearing a jersey in the colors of the Botswana flag. He told viewers he just got off a plane and was running on basically no sleep. The stream showed him going through a traditional musical performance, lifting weights and eventually heading to the track. That's where things got crazy. Speed met up with Letsile Tebogo at a track surrounded by excited schoolchildren and fans. Tebogo helped Speed set up his starting blocks and gave him tips on warming up. The Olympic champion was being a gracious host. Then they lined up to race. The distance was about 50 meters. Tebogo declined to use starting blocks, telling Speed, "You'll need those more than I will." Confidence from the Olympic gold medalist. But what happened next shocked everyone watching. As the race started, Tebogo appeared to slip. His block slid backward as he pushed off, giving him a terrible start. Meanwhile, Speed got away cleanly from his blocks. He exploded off the line and took an immediate lead. Speed kept glancing over his shoulder during the race, checking where Tebogo was. The Olympic champion tried to recover from his bad start, but the distance was too short. Speed crossed the finish line well ahead. The crowd of fans immediately swarmed Speed. He yelled, "I won that though!" 4 times, celebrating his victory. Then he walked over to Tebogo, shook hands, shared a side hug, and offered a rematch asking, "You want to go again?" Tebogo's response showed pure class. "No, it's fine. I'll let you take the win." The 22-year-old Olympic champion wasn't making excuses. He acknowledged what happened and let Speed have his moment. After the race, Tebogo made Speed an interesting offer. "I saw you racing Ferdinand in Kenya, so maybe I could just find a few things that I can teach you." Speed agreed immediately before they shook on it and sealed the deal. That message reached Ferdinand Omanyala, the African record holder and 2-time African champion in the 100 meters. Omanyala took to X and wrote, "Train him well," directed at Tebogo. Why does that matter? Because Speed is scheduled to race Omanyala during his Kenya stop, and Omanyala has already said he'll only race Speed if there's $50,000 on the table. But let's talk about why everyone is comparing this race to Speed's previous matchup with Noah Lyles. Back in November 2024, Speed raced Noah Lyles in a 50-meter dash with $100,000 on the line. Mr. Beast sponsored the race and showed up wearing a referee outfit to fire the starting gun. In that race, Speed actually started ahead of Lyles. For the first half of the sprint, they were neck and neck. But then, Lyles hit another gear and pulled away, crossing the finish line first while literally doing Mario jumps to celebrate. After losing to Lyles, Speed refused to accept defeat. "That was a tie!" he yelled multiple times. When they reviewed iPhone footage, Lyles pointed out, "There am I, and there you are back there." Speed's argument was simple. "I never ran track a day in my life. Like, bro, in raw speed, I'm faster than you. In raw speed." Lyles responded with pure confidence. "Are you? I didn't even hit top speed. You tapped out with 30 meters to go." Before that race, Lyles had warned Speed about what would happen. No matter what, you cannot stop during this race. After the second step, you will lose all hope and you will want to stop the race. Do not stop this race. Run through the line. Lyles later admitted he was impressed by Speed's performance. He called Speed's start elite and said with proper training and technique, Speed could become significantly faster. Lyles even invited Speed to train with him for a week and compete again in the real man's race at 100 meters. So when Speed beat Tebogo, even with the slip at the start, people immediately started making comparisons. If Speed pushed Lyles that hard and then beat Tebogo, how fast is this streamer actually? One track fan commented, "iShow is the Jake Paul of sprinting. Once he lines up and gets into a real race, he's barbecue chicken." The comment compared Speed to boxer Jake Paul, suggesting he only looks good against athletes not taking him seriously. NBA star Kevin Durant and WWE legend John Cena have both praised his athleticism. Just days before racing Tebogo, Speed took on a cheetah in South Africa. An actual cheetah. Speed's ability to stay calm when the cheetah scratched him shows real mental toughness. Animals freak out when you make erratic movements or do erratic sounds, so you always just gotta be calm, Speed explained. And Speed is serious about his Olympic dreams. He's publicly stated, "I'm gonna run in the 2028 Olympics. 100 meter, I am." Most people laughed when he said it, but after these races, some are starting to wonder if he's actually serious. Usain Bolt even noticed Speed's potential. The legendary sprinter offered his coaching services to Speed, though he declined to actually race him. Speed responded, "Let's lock that training session in," but it hasn't happened yet. Now with Tebogo offering to coach Speed and Omanyala waiting in Kenya, this tour is becoming more than just entertainment. It's becoming a legitimate storyline in track and field. The question everyone is asking, could Speed actually compete at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics? Realistically, qualifying for the Olympics requires years of dedicated training. Speed would need to run times that put him among the top 3 Americans in the 100 meters. That means beating professional sprinters who've trained their entire lives. But if Speed committed to proper training with elite coaches and dedicated himself to the sport, stranger things have happened. His raw speed is undeniable. His explosiveness off the blocks is real, and his willingness to compete against the best shows he's not afraid of the challenge. For now, Speed's victory over Tebogo stands as one of the most viral moments in track and field social media history. Whether people think it's legitimate or just entertainment, millions watched it happen live. And that brings us back to the original question. Will Noah Lyles agree to a rematch? If Mr. Beast puts up enough money, if the fans demand it loud enough, and if Speed keeps winning these races, could Lyles be tempted to race again? This time maybe at 100 meters instead of 50. With proper starting blocks and official timing, the internet would absolutely explode. And after beating an Olympic gold medalist, even with the slip, Speed has the momentum. So watch this space. Because if Speed keeps racing Olympic champions and keeps winning, the track and field world might have to start taking him seriously, and that rematch with Noah Lyles, it might just happen.